When is Nevada not Nevada? Seems like a strange question to ask, but think about it for a second. If you've ever traveled through the state, whether along I-15 or I-80, you have one very bleak and barren picture of Nevada. So I ask again, when is Nevada not Nevada? The answer? When you take a trip up Wheeler Pass. About 50 miles north of Las Vegas, there is an interesting mountain range where even in July, there are still snow-capped peaks and flowers that cover the entire gambit of color. Appropriately named the Spring Mountains, these hills change the way you look at the Silver State.
It's a gorgeous trail. It used to be the stagecoach road between Vegas and Parhump many, many years ago.
You won't find stagecoaches today, but you will find an area that is surprisingly green, with pine forests that transport you to a different land far removed from the harsh and dry Nevada landscape. Crystal springs bubble to the surface, feeding the plants and lizards that call the mountain home. The pass itself rises from the desert basin below, meandering along hillsides and into washes along the foothills of the Spring Mountains. Remnants of the past, in the form of charcoal kilns, still stand tall beside the road after 130 years of sun and weather. They've survived over time, just like the trail. The pass is the perfect multiple-use trail, open to hikers and off-road vehicles alike, backpackers, ATVs, horses. But today, it's members of the Nevada Backroaders who take the ride from Vegas to Parhump by Jeep. Though it may start out a graded and steady path, that changes rather quickly.
The trail is kind of exciting because it gives you a little extra challenge and lets you take your four-wheel and just have a little bit of fun, but yet it's not so bad that you can't take a stock over it.
You get a lot of people that are new to four-wheeling. They'll start up Wheeler, get halfway up and say, and turn around and go back, because they just start seeing the rocks and thinking it's just way beyond their ability. But it is a stock vehicle trail, just tough enough to keep you challenged and not too hard to scare you and think that you're going to end up making an insurance claim.
Brad Cozart, trail boss on today's mountain trek, leads our friends on what seems to be a daunting path, where Michael and Tanya Wilcox, new members to the club, learn firsthand the meaning of strength in numbers.
You got a lot of great people willing to help you out, especially if you haven't had any experience. That's the first time I've gotten worried, because I didn't feel like leaning over into a rock. Kind of make the door not work as well.
We can kind of help them through some of the rough spots if they need help. You have some new ones that they've never been on a run before, and so it just kind of makes it kind of fun to get new people trained and get them to enjoy the outdoors.
Even the newest and most inexperienced club members finally triumph, reaching the high point of Wheeler. From here, the world opens up to their view. Shade, cooler temperatures, and comfortable surroundings are the recipe for exploration of the terrain and the relationships with each other. Parhump is just a dot in the distance, connected by a ribbon of beauty that winds down the far side of the mountain. This is the path still before the Jeepers, every bit as spectacular as the one they just drove. The trail may be difficult, but whether you make it all the way or not, club members will always be there to support everyone taking the journey.
Take your time. Never be afraid to get out of the vehicle and walk ahead and see if it's maybe a little tougher than you really want to try and do that given day. If you don't feel like you can do it, then turn around and come back another day with some other people.
It's for fun, so everybody knows how to have a good time without being too worried about the new guy screwing up the whole trip.
The Jeep Club never set foot outside of Nevada today, but for all intents and purposes, they were in a completely different world. Nevada will always be Nevada, but it won't always be what you expect. For At Your Leisure, I'm Steve Human.